Hi friends, welcome back to the kitchen. Today is a kitchen day. We are in a year of abundance for apples. So about every other year we get a bumper crop of them, and this is our year. So I am finding some fun ways of using them, and I'm gonna bring you along. Today's goal is to use up the apples we've already picked from last week. That way we are able to have free baskets to go pick some more. I am going to be doing 3 different things with our apples. First thing I'm going to be doing is dehydrating them. We just got this dehydrator and I did a batch last weekend, and the kids took and ate the whole first tray like right away. And they just finished up the rest of the ones I had dehydrated today. So that means it's time to go ahead and do more. I'm actually going to be doing a whole bunch of them. Hopefully be able to get a bunch done and vacuum sealed and put away for the winter months. The next 2 things I'm going to be doing, it's going to be a little bit more tedious. It's going to be a lot more chopping and slicing, but I am going to be making apple pie filling and applesauce. Usually with the applesauce, I use a Victoria strainer, and all you have to do is get any bad spots and just quarter them, cook your apples, and then you run them through a strainer and it takes the skin and the seeds away. So this year I'm going to try something different. I'm just going to go ahead and seed them myself and then cook them down and use my immersion blender just to keep the skins on. Skins have a lot of good nutrients in them and I don't want to lose it.
Right out of the fridge. Now. Oh, well, my fingers almost done?
Alright, so you guys just seen where the girls were helping me and we were using the apple peeler core, and we got our apples ready to go into the dehydrator. Now as soon as we were done doing that, we were sticking them in this bowl, I'll show you in a second, of water with some lemon juice just to help with the browning, so the apple slices wouldn't brown too much. They are, and I was just kind of flipping them around a little bit, trying to get them coated in the water. And I'll come through and I'll break them into pieces, and I'll set them on those trays. Alright, so I got them turned on to medium. I'll keep an eye on them for the next few hours. It'll probably take 4 to 5 hours to get this tray done, and then I'll show you what they look like when they're finished. Second thing you can do to use up those extra apples is make apple pie filling. My little buddy back here, he's chilling out. A few years ago, a sweet friend of mine said she goes ahead and makes her filling, her favorite recipe, and then she just goes ahead and sticks it in a Ziploc bag and sticks it in a pie pan. All she has to do is pop it out of the freezer and then put it into her, either the pie shell, or she wants to make it crisp just to like top it the way she would like to, and it's ready to go. So I'm going to mix up mine and I'm going to show you how it's done. So here's my apples. I went ahead and used the apple peeler core to go ahead and take all the peels out for me, and just breaking them up so they're a little bit smaller pieces. Making sure the kids didn't get any, like this one's kind of yucky. This one's a little bit yucky, so I'm not going to use that one. The kids were helping me, so I just gotta double check that they mostly look pretty good. So I've got the apples ready, and next I'm going to go ahead and get my spices out. One thing to keep in mind is if you were to transform this into a freezer pie filling, into a canning pie filling, you wouldn't use... Are you talking, baby? Yeah. You wouldn't use flour. Flour is not approved for canning purposes. You'd want to use like a cornstarch or a clear gel. Other than that, it's when you go to can versus freezing or just straight away baking, it's all the same. are all mixed up, and I'm using just an aluminum pie pan. It's one, well, it's a sturdy, it's not one of them cheap ones from the grocery store. And I'm going to pour in the pie filling into my plastic bag. The girls think this is awesome. It smells really good.
Eat it. And I make a show. Well, see her?
The pie filling is in the bag, it's in the pie plate, and it's going to go into the freezer, and in about 24 hours it'll be frozen enough I'll be able to take it out and just store it in the freezer without it being in this pie plate. So that is your second way to use apples without having to can. Third up is making applesauce. Here back, it is day 2 of apple making. I got tired and started too late yesterday. So here is the dehydrated apples. Those 5 trays fill this up, plus there would have been more, but the kids ate like a whole tray plus a little bit, and so this is what we have left over. The dehydrator ran like 6.5 hours. That is how they turned out. Next up was the pie, and it is set now. Now it's all ready to go, and if you want to make it into a pie or if you want to make it into a crisp, you can just plop it in, take it out of the bag, plop it in here, and go on with your recipe. The last thing I'm working on is applesauce. I have just used that peeler core. It went really quickly, and if there was any that had bad spots, I cut those out and then stuck them in there. And because they're thinly sliced, it didn't take half hour, 45 minutes, and they are cooked through. Alright, so they've been cooking. They were probably up to about where that line is, you can see. And I added water and just been letting them cook. I added maybe a little bit more water than I typically would have, but I wanted to make sure that they wouldn't stick to the bottom. The other day when I made applesauce, I added them into it, and the kids aren't crazy about it, so I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to stick the immersion blender in it and get it mixed up now. We're all blended up, and if you wanted, you could let it keep cooking like that and you would end up with apple butter. Or if you're not interested in that, you're done. You can now put it into individual containers and let it cool down and freeze, and voila, you have some wonderful applesauce to enjoy all winter long. There you have it, 3 easy ways to use up apples without canning. Alright, until next time, bye. Are you ready? All done.